Good day, everyone. In our lecture, we are Third Wall Breaker group from game development class. This time, we want to present about our game design document Left Behind. So, our group member consists of three people, which are Gawai, me,
Halo.
Tracy, and Felicia.
Hai.
Okay, next one. So, this is our table and content structure. The first one is concept and purpose. It will be explained by Felicia.
Okay, so concept and purpose. This section contains the game overview, story and narrative, game objective, target audience, and the inspiration for the game. Game overview. Left Behind is a 2D platform game where you play as Maytem, an AI that's stuck in a creator unfinished game. The goal is to explore the place, defeat enemies, and to find a way to exit the game. On the way, you will find developer notes around the place to find the reason why the game was left unfinished. Story and narrative. Mayhem is an AI that exists in the creator program or device, capable of free roaming around the digital space. One day, he woke up and was trapped in a game that was a work in progress from the creator long ago. He tries to leave but was unable to. Thus, he explored the place he was in to find a way out. Next. On the final floor of the game, when he does find a way out, he has to defeat the boss, which can only be done by damaging the generators. Once defeated, he will enter the admin control and he was given the choice to whether to delete the game or exit the game without deleting it. The game objective. The objective of this game is to reach the admin control and piece together the creator story to scatter developer nodes. Learning outcomes. Left Behind offers the player an opportunity to reflect on deeper themes through its narrative and gameplay. The core learning outcomes include consequences of abandonment, highlights the emotional of systemic effects of leaving something unfinished, search for purpose, encourage reflection on identity and finding meaning beyond one's original design. Target audience. The target audience is for 13 plus, ideal for players who enjoy emotional and narrative-driven games, set experiences, and for world-breaking storytelling. The game inspirations come from One Shot, Stanley Parable, and Inside. Okay, for the game One Shot, is for how the game talks directly to the player and makes you feel like you're helping someone inside a computer. For Stanley Parable is known for the smart narrative, player awareness, and for world breaking. Explore the joys and the feeling of navigating in an empty, self-aware world. From Inside is from the atmosphere and storytelling through the environment, the eerie minimalist world. Design. This section contains the game mechanics, controls, settings, game level design, and the game loop. Game mechanics. In Left Behind, the gameplay revolves around a blend of action, interaction, and narrative progressions. Some of these are performing basic attack actions. There are various puzzle mechanics that are implemented, a visual novel style for user interface to convey the narrative elements. The game also have multiple CGs, such as death CGs, game over CGs, and ending CGs. Of course, a final boss fight for the ending. Controls is the simple one. For walk is D and A, for jump is Y, sprint is shift, interact is E, attack is the spacebar. Game settings. The environment takes place in the deteriorated, abandoned version of a digital facility, inspired by lobotomy operations. For the time period, the story was set in a suspended digital space, neither from the past from the future, but stuck in a moment where the creator abandoned the project. The visual style starts with fully rendered illustration that will gradually deteriorate into glitchy, minimalistic gray once the player moves forward. For the level design, level 1, awakening and tutorial, the player wakes up as Mayhem and learns the basic control when navigating the abandoned space. The settings are a broken facility resembling an early prototype stage with full illustration and detailed assets. The goal was to learn the mechanics, basically the tutorial, and reach the elevator going down. The obstacle and challenges. Avoid the projectile and learn to move, try to interact with the NPCs, defeat the enemies, and solve the puzzle. For level 2, Mayhems arrives at a more fragmented area where NPCs and environments start to show missing texture. The setting is a more incomplete section of the facility with faded colors, missing objects, and placeholder for the dialogue sprites. The goal for this level was to navigate, interact with the NPC, and reach the next level, same as before. The obstacle and challenges are explore the environment, fight more challenging enemies, and solve a puzzle to proceed via elevator. Level 3. The settings are fully glitched, untextured environment with great empty room and a collapsing world feel. The goal for this level was to defeat the final boss and choose whether to escape or delete the game. The obstacle and challenges was to solve the puzzle and defeat the final boss, and to reach the admin control to make the final decision. Next. The game rules. Throughout Left Behind, the player will engage in a consistent gameplay cycle that does combat, problem solving, and narrative interaction. The core rules include these following actions. 1. Attack enemies. The players will encounter and attack hostile digital entities to defeat the enemies and progress through the levels. 2. Solving puzzles. Players must also complete a variety of puzzles/the generators to unlock new areas and trigger the boss. 3. Interact with the NPCs. The players will communicate with NPCs to get insights, unlock story elements, and uncover the world backstory through one-sided dialogue. Next.
Alright, the next is the character and the entities. This section will contain the main character design, enemy design, and NPC. So first is the main character. His name is Mater, short for May. He is the protagonist of the game the player will play. He is an AI entity that roams freely within the creator's device, labeled as a virus due to his ability to infiltrate and alter the game codes. Emotionally detached on the surface but capable of showing small signs of care, in the game his ability is to shoot out mid-range projectile to fight off the enemies. So the enemy design type. First enemy, difficulty medium, is a close range attacker. It will spin around on the floor while patrolling as animation. When the player is detected, they will charge towards the player. The second enemy, difficulty easy, is a long range attack. It will float atop while patrolling, and when they see the player, they will stop moving and start to attack the player. And the final boss is a big enemy that will be in the center of the environment. It's a long-range attacker, and the only way to damage it is for the player to activate the generators. So here are the enemy 1, 2, and the final boss sketches. So for the NPC, first is the creator of the forgotten game, and the owner of the device. They will only appear at the end of the story, but they are mentioned throughout the game by May. So the next NPC are the employees. There will be 3 interactable NPC. First, at level 1, you'll see Mao. She is a protective team leader who hints at a past breakout of the abnormalities. On the second level, you'll find Sildrake, injured and encrypted, speak of resetting and abnormality surge. And on the final level, it is an NPC that have no name, no nothing. It speaks in distorted word, emphasize the words like the world in the game is collapsing. So here are the design sketch of the employee 1, employee 2, and employee 3. So next is the visual and layout. This section contains the game layout design, such as the UI, menu, hub, and art style and visual directions. So for the HUD, they will have the start menu with the play button, credit, and quit the game button. In the game interface, at the top left corner, there will be the health bar. Below the health bar will be the objective where the player need to achieve. And then at the top right corner, there will be a pause menu. In the pause menu, there will be a continue game button, audio setting, developer notes that shows the notes the player had collected, and quit the game, which will lead the player to the start intro. And optional, we're still thinking about this, we might add an enemy health bar above their heads. So here are the layout references for our style of our setting and button stuff. So art style and direction, it will be sort of like a 2D anime art, cartoonish, inspired by Lobotomic Corporation, the game. The color palette will be warm and dull color to make the screen feel unfinished, and the animation and sprite will be a frame-by-frame hand-drawn. So here is our mood board for our visual layouts. All right, on to the next person.
Okay, so we move to the audio section. This section includes background music and sound effect. So for the background music, we have divided into 5 parts. There are level 1, 2, 3, the boss fight, and for optional, it was like the ending music. Next. So for sound effect, we have divided into 3 parts, which are for player, enemy, and the objects. So for player, you can see on the table, there are walk, jump, interact, hurt, attack, and others. Next. And the next one, there are enemies type 1 and 2. So for enemy 1, the action are walk, charge, and hurt. While enemy 2, the bird 1 have flying, shoot, and hurt. Next. So for the object part, there are 3 objects we're gonna make the sound, which are generator, elevator, and other NPCs. Next. So let's move to the technical development plan. First is the tools we are gonna use, which is mainly Unity for the game building and Ibis Paint or Procreate to draw the assets later. Okay, next. So for the development plan, it starts from week 2, where we form a group, creating a GDD until week 5, and start the art assets immediately, start from week 5 until end of week 7. Next. Okay, so the game will be start from week 8 until week 13. So for week 14, we can finalize all things and submit it. Next. So this is the appendix that contains our GDD and our portfolio block. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. Have a good day.